Welcome to the Brasileirao podcast, betting tips and picks. I've made a lot of money this year. I've been on a little bit of a hiatus. I was in Brazil for 3 weeks. Sorry for that. Let's get to this week's games. All right, it's round 13, the first game, and probably the game I'm most excited for. Ceará against Fortaleza, Clásico Hey. And for me, when you think of this game, you think of two clubs who are organized. They're absolutely vicious, winning the ball. They're, but when I think of this game, I think Rogerio Ceni's the difference. I just think Fortaleza is going to attack more. Now, there's rumors that Ceará and Edison Moreira, they're going to come out with a more attacking lineup, but I don't really see that. If you watched that inner game last week for Ceará, you won't really believe in them. And so I'm putting money on this. I'll tell you right now. I'm playing the Asian handicap. So essentially, let me make this simple. If Fortaleza wins or draws, I make money. And that's the bet I'm going with. And if I had to mark it down for you on a parlay, I would go Fortaleza to win. I think they're going to score at least 2 goals. And can anyone really see Ceará putting up more than one? I don't really see the firepower, even though the young striker from Santos, Felipe Cardoso, is playing really well. Next game, Fluminense against Inter. In the Maracanã, Inter's going to have a mixed squad. I don't think they're going to go full reserves, but you can't trust them to perform on the road. I'm going Fluminense to win, and Fluminense simply has to win. I think right now they're in the relegation zone. They haven't looked too good, but in terms of offensive firepower, I mean, they got it. You guys need to watch the two young players they have, Marcus Paulo and I think João Paulo. Both of them are nasty. Fluminense wins this game. They're due to win, and Inter sucks on the road. Next game, Santos against Goiás. Now, this is a tricky one. I'll go through a few betting options on this one. I think Santos wins, but the question is, how much do they win by, and what type of performance do we see from Goiás? Ever since the break for Copa America, we haven't seen anything out of Goiás. And we know Sampaoli, when he beats teams for Santos, a lot of times it's 1-0. He doesn't try to do too much. But here's the bet this week. The Asian handicap is 1.5. So essentially, for you to win the bet, Santos needs to win by 2 goals. I think that happens. I think it's a simple 2-0. If you want to put this on your parlay, you could put Santos to win, but it's not going to be too big a payout for you. I do worry about Michiel and Goiás on the counterattack because Avaí, a team who has absolutely no offensive strength, look pretty dangerous on the counterattack against Santos, but I don't think Goiás manages a lot. Next game, Avaí against Botafogo. This is a tricky game. I don't think Avaí's improved with their new manager. They fired Juninho. They got Alberto Valentim. I don't think they've improved that much. They had a home game against Goiás a few weeks back where they drew 0-0. That was kind of a must-win game. This is also a must-win game. But I think Botafogo gets their first win in 6 matches. And a lot of people want to slam Botafogo, and I understand the manager situation isn't great. Diego Souza isn't in rhythm, and Eric, probably the best player in the team, just got sold to Japan. But I think Botafogo gets a win here. Don't bet it. But I actually think the Asian handicap allows you to pick Botafogo, and you win money if they get a draw. So I'd look into that. Next game, Bahia against Flamengo. Let me get to Flamengo. No Gabigol, and without him, I don't really see Flamengo doing much more than a draw. But you have to look at Bahia, and they have a situation going on in the club called Arthur dependencia, which is pretty much they're over-reliant on one player, a small little winger on loan from Palmeiras, Arthur. He's really, really good, and he'll create chances, but there's no one to rack in those chances. And ever since Bahia lost Douglas Augusto, he got loaned away due to Corinthians selling him. Ever since they lost him after the Copa America break, Bahia has been in free fall. Ramirez, a young player on Bahia, I really like. I think he's 19 and 20 attacking midfielder. He's done nothing since the break. I'm going draw here. It looks like one where you want to bet Bahia. Flamengo is kind of railing, defense in shambles. They're not ultra organized under Jorge Jesus. But he has been playing too bad, and they're going to draw unless they go for it. And then if they go for it, Flamengo's going to hit them on the counter. Next game, Classico. Another Classico. I don't think it's the biggest Classico this weekend. I think the Ceará Fortaleza one has a lot more bad blood, has a lot more meaning. This game doesn't have a lot of meaning to me. Elétrico Mineiro against Cruzeiro. I'm going Elétrico Mineiro to win, and Mano Menezes, I always felt like he was overrated. I respect him. I give him his props. When my teams go up against him, I show him the utmost respect, and I know it's going to be a hard game. And I know if you make one mistake, his teams are going to beat you. But the problem is his teams have no room for error. There's no attacking going on. The system isn't working. I think Elétrico Mineiro wins this game because they simply attack better. And to beat Elétrico Mineiro, you have to attack them. You have to throw numbers forward because their defense and goalie are terrible. That's what you need to do against them. Is Cruzeiro going to do this after this Libertadores letdown? I don't think so. Elétrico Mineiro wins. I wouldn't bet this. Next game, another Classico, and this is one of the biggest Classicos in Brazil, but I think this Fortaleza Sierra game has more meaning in terms of Brasileirao implications. But this game also has lots of implications. Corinthians against Palmeiras. I'm going to make it simple because I know everyone who watches the show probably knows a lot about these teams. I'm going draw, but watch out on this one because Palmeiras, they've been playing crap since the break. Corinthians is actually looking better, showing more pop, showing more explosion. They were down 1-0 against Fortaleza last week after halftime, and Fortaleza is no great team with a great budget with great players, but they're a team when they get up on you, normally they keep that lead and they get the result. Corinthians put up 3 big goals in the second half, so I'm going draw here because these are how these Paulistão derbies usually work out. Go draw here, but I'm leaning towards Corinthians getting the result if it is a win. Next game, Vasco against CSA. This is a tricky one because Vasco, I told everyone they would improve on their looks. We know there's not a lot of talent. Same with CSA. They brought in Argel Fox, and, he's going to do what he does. Lots of organization, lots of physical football, a few long balls, counterattack. Looked pretty good against Gremio when they got a draw last week. I'm going Vasco to win. And I do have a little bit of a feeling CSA might have a chance for a result, but they don't have enough going forward. And if Maranhão, the player on CSA, if he can't dribble past people, if he can't create plays, there's going to be very little that happens for CSA. And Vasco can actually score from set pieces. They score from corners. Iago Pikachu is a great player. Finally, finally a Vasco coach moved him back to his proper position in the back line. Those overlapping runs are killer. Vasco's still looking for a number 9, still looking for someone good. But I see Thiago Luiz coming off the bench for Vasco, getting a goal 1-0 in the second half. On Monday, we have Gremio against Chapecoense. Now, Gremio is heavy favorites in this game, and I'm going Gremio to win. This Chapecoense team has been fraudulent since the beginning of the year. Getting rid of Ney Franco really doesn't change anything. Gremio wins this one. They're playing good, and they play at a high tempo. And Chapecoense, for me, it's not really the back four. It's not really the Valanches. It's what's going forward. And I know Everaldo scores a lot of goals, but who in Chapecoense can beat you with pace? Who on Chapecoense can beat you off the dribble? No one. And you need to be able to counter against Gremio. That's their weakness. Gremio wins. Next game, Elétrico Paranaense against São Paulo. Electrical Paranense wins this game. This is Wednesday. And when they're at home, they're very hard to beat. I mean, we saw Boca Juniors come in and get a good result. We saw how that transpired. But Sao Paulo is no Boca Juniors this year. I'm going to talk about Sao Paulo later for another reason, big news. But Electrical Paranense wins this game. Subscribe, hit the like button, share the videos. The Brasileirao podcast. Sorry for the long layoff. I'll be back every week.